Hi there, I'm Jeff from ProBlast Photo Edge Systems, and this video is going to show you the things involved in installing your new CNC AutoBlaster. What you're going to need in tools is a 17mm socket set, a 10mm socket set, and a Phillips head screwdriver. The CNC system comes with these feet which you've got to put onto the table, and then once you've got this table in position, then you can adjust the bolts to get it right. Put a spirit level up the top here, and then just make sure that everything is nice and even. You can also elect to put the machine on wheels, which we do for our machine, so it gives us the ability to move the machine around. Probably the most sturdy way is this way. It's more rigid. When you've got it on wheels, you get a little bit of rocking. It doesn't seem to make any difference, but for us, we like to be able to move it around. These don't come with the machine, so you'd have to buy those externally. So now we've got our machine in place. Let's go through a couple of things that you need to have pre-set up before you get the machine and the parts that we're going to put together. The first thing is you need to have a 15 amp power point behind the CNC table. There's only one cable that comes out of this machine into the wall, and it comes out of this power box here. There'll be more about that later. And the second thing, of course, is your airline. So you get your airline all set up, ready to go, so that you can plug and connect. All right, now over here, these are the parts we've got to assemble. You've got your PLC control board that will go onto the end here. You've got this little light, which we'll talk about a bit later, that gets added on here. There's the emergency stop button, which goes around the side there, just screws on, and you've got your brush that will go on the head. And then this is the hose arm, which sits on the side of the machine and comes up over the machine, so the hoses aren't getting in the way of the production. There's also a can of this lubricant, and again we'll show you what to do with that lubricant in the maintenance video, but it's used to just lubricate the head. Alright, so let's get on with putting all this stuff together. Alright, the emergency stop button, just very simple, just push it in, put your screws in like so, and like Philip said. All done. All right, next step, just put this on here, like so. You just okay, now all these cables, they go around to the back of the machine. All right. This light is just a light that just switches on. If you're walking around with earmuffs or whatever, if there's more noise in the factory, it's just a good indicator when the green light is on. It means that the machine's in operation. Alright, so now the hose arm goes on. You can see on the right hand side of the CNC table, you've got these 4 bolts here, and that's where this goes. All right, now let's connect the hoses. And the final part is to put the 15 amp power point in. You must have a 15 amp power point. I'm going to show you how to connect the blasting hose to this new head assembly. So the first thing we do is with an Allen key, we undo there's two little grommets here that we undo to loosen up. Now we can pull the nozzle out. And then we just need to twist this on, so there's a thread inside there. We just twist that on till it gets all the way in, nice and tight. All right, it's in. Now we'll get our screws and screw it into place. So there's a few screws to deal with here. Just get them all in, and I'm not going too hard on that screw there because this is a plastic coupling. If you go really hard on that, you're probably going to damage that coupling. So rather than full speed, that's all you need to do. Right, so now you've got it all set up. Slide that back in there like so, and just do up your grommets on the side to lock it into place. You don't have to do that very tightly, just enough to hold it in place. All right, that's that. Next will be to put this vacuum hose on, tighten it all up, and then we'll move on to the machine. So now we've got the blasting hose that we just fitted to the nozzle, goes in down here at the sand flow valve. As you can see, you just tighten that up, it's pretty obvious. And then the vacuum tube, the vacuum hose goes into here, and what we recommend you do is you go down about 10 of these bars and push it in, just so that the end of the hose is protruding into the chamber. So we'll just got a rubber grommet there for the sealing, just stick it in there. It's all a bit tight, but then you go in there. And now that's about 10 bars, and so the end of the hose will be protruding into this chamber. All right, so the last thing obviously is you connect your air line there. This is coming straight from your compressor, your regulated air. And that's it. And then one more part to do here is to put the brush on. So they can be very tight, which is good. So they stay on. You might have to just sort of bang it on a bit. Just get it on there and try and get it nice and even too all the way around. So make sure that's not at an angle to the head. All right, so everything now is connected. We'll move on to preparing the pressure pot and just setting up this CNC bridge. Okay, now we've got the machine almost ready to go. I've got to put some abrasive into here. We recommend aluminium oxide 46 grit, but you could use garnet, you can use whatever you want to use, just that the aluminium oxide lasts longer. Because you've got the efficiency of the abrasive cleaning, then it becomes quite a good proposition. Put the abrasive in, you simply take the lid off and pour your abrasive in. You put this over to the side somewhere, and then when you have filled it up with abrasive, and that's no more than 2 25 kilo bags, don't put more than that in, that'll cause problems with the sealing. So that's all you do, it's just 2 bags maximum. You could just do 1 bag, will work fine with 1 bag, you'll just need to refill more times. But 2 bags is what's recommended. Do not put 3 bags in. When you put this lid back on, The lid, you can see this lid has got, it's all rubber coated up here. Now the abrasive is coming back up through this pipe that we fitted, and it's going to come up here and it's going to hit this black rubber. So to save that rubber from being worn out all the time, put the lid on and then just turn a couple of turns like that, and that means it'll be starting to blast into a different piece of rubber, and that'll make the whole thing last longer. And you can just keep working your way all the way around it. It was designed to be like that. The connection, the closing it up is pretty straightforward. Obviously, you just put these on and you tighten them up nice and tight, and you are ready to go. What we're now going to do is check the alignment of the bridge. So this bridge, which you can push up and down, we need to make sure that it's aligned nicely with the axis rails. So if you have a look in here, you can see see where that gap is there. Now if I move this in, it hits the metal stopper like that, so that's good. What we need to do now is check on the other side. There's a little adjusting screw down here which needs to be touching, and that's working, that's right. So I'll bring that there. They're both hitting the stopper at the same time, so that tells us that we've got this bridge aligned. This is a really important thing. If it's not aligned, if there's a bit of a gap here, if there is a gap there or there's a gap on the other side, you need to adjust this screw in or out, which move this right out of your way and come in here with a screwdriver and adjust that in or out to make sure that it's balanced, and then that way we know when the machine comes back to zero, it's nice and aligned. It's very important to make sure that happens. And just while we're at the back here, you can have a look at what we've done with these cables. We just tied them all up, made it all nice and neat on both sides here. We've got rid of all the excess, so we haven't got cables lying out on the floor everywhere. The last thing to check is the alignment of the whole CNC unit. We want to make sure it's nice and square to the ground. So this, you can see here that this is perfectly aligned. We check both sides of it. Come over here. Again, it's perfectly aligned. And over on here we do the same thing, and that's aligned as well. So we've got this machine nicely lined up. If you've got an uneven floor, then chances are it's not going to be aligned, and you need to get it aligned, and that's where the little feet comes in. You can adjust the feet to get the alignment. If it's out of alignment, then this bridge is not going to be travelling in a nice flat run, so it'll be skewed, and that'll eventually start to wear things out. So really important, make sure you align this machine before you get started. That's it for installation. Next step for you is to start sandblasting. Good luck.